Hey, welcome to Bourbon Bill's Pirate Bar. I'm your host, Bourbon Bill, and we're so glad that you're here. Today, while we're getting into that warmer weather, you know, with those palm trees swaying and the warm tropical breezes, you're probably going to need something to quench that thirst. Well, today we're going to give you a little bit of a surprise. This may look like a cosmopolitan, but it's really something else. It's called the Hawaiian Sunset. It is a beautiful drink, it is easy to make, and it's very, very tasty and refreshing. So hold on to your coconuts, and we're going to show you exactly how to make it right after this. Hey, welcome back. If this is the first time visiting Bourbon Bill's Pirate Bar, we really appreciate you. If you're coming back to see more of our content, we appreciate you any more. Now let's talk about the Hawaiian Sunset. This is a cocktail that came out in the early 60s. It's actually from Aku Aku, which is now a defunct tiki bar that is in the now defunct Stardust Hotel in Las Vegas. But in the early 60s, anything Hawaiian was just all the craze. And this is no exception. Now, I will say one thing. This drink has been featured in Beach Bum Berry's Sippin' Safari and also in Martin Cate's Smuggler's Code. So we're going to try to stay true to the original recipe here. Nothing real fancy. You know, there's just a handful of ingredients. But one thing to really point out about this is a vodka-based tiki drink. Most, as you know, are rum-based. There's a few whiskey-based ones. But if you're looking for something a little bit lighter, this one might just do the trick, particularly as we get into the hotter months. You know, those palm trees are swaying, and you're looking for just a cool adult beverage. So this is actually quite a pretty drink, as you will see here momentarily. So we don't even need to hide it in a tiki mug. So we'll get into that in just a moment. All right, so the first thing we need to do is just go ahead and start. If you've been watching the show for a while, you've seen me use the Mixology and Craft Boston Shaker set. It looks great. It holds up, particularly around here. We're going to just start off with just a couple of agitator cubes because this is a shaken drink. And our first ingredient today is the vodka. We're going to use 1 1/2 ounces of vodka. And today we're going to try something a little bit different than you've seen on the show before. A friend of mine put me on to Kai Vodka, and I got to tell you, it's fantastic. It's so light. And it's very tasty, and it's gluten-free, which is a concern for bootleg many and many of you that are watching this. It's 100% gluten-free, and it's distilled from rice, not necessarily potatoes or other ingredients like some other vodkas. And this actually, Kai is actually headquartered in Hawaii, so it's a perfect choice for our Hawaiian Sunset, but it's distilled in Vietnam. So again, we're going to start off with 1 1/2 ounces of our Kai vodka. Now they come in a variety of different flavors. This one is just the straight vodka. They have lemongrass and lychee and some other really wonderful flavors. All right, so we want something just to spice this up just a little bit. So we're going to use some Orgeat syrup. And this recipe is very, very simple. It's basically 1.5 ounces of vodka, and pretty much everything else is 1/2 ounce. So it makes it really simple to remember and really simple to mix. So we're going to add in 1/2 ounce of our Orgeat. We already have some pre-squeeze. We fresh squeeze our juices here at Bourbon Bill's Pirate Bar. I have to say, living in Florida, I'm truly blessed that I can walk out to my backyard and I have a lemon tree, lime tree, a grapefruit, orange, and a tangerine tree. So we get fresh fruit. But you know what? Fresh fruit's available almost anywhere in the world, and it's always available at your local grocery store. So I always say, you know, ditch the plastic, go out and get some fresh squeeze. It will make a difference in your drink. All right, so we're going to start off with a ½ ounce of lemon juice. In there for good measure. We're going to give a ½ ounce of lime juice. Get that in there. Now, if you've been watching the show for a while, you've heard this once or twice. And I want to point out, grenadine syrup, a lot of people have the misnomer that grenadine is cherry. It's actually not. It's actually pomegranate juice and a little bit of sugar. They make like a simple sugar mixture out of it. And today we're using roses, and we just need just a teaspoon. We don't want this to be necessarily overly sweet, because there's a lot of delicious goodness in that with all those natural citrus flavors. And we don't want necessarily the grenadine to overpower that. All right, so going to give that a good slap like a newborn baby's butt. Give that a good shake. You can feel that frosting down on that tin. All right, now we need to talk a little bit about what kind of glass vessel we're putting this in. That sounds about right, so go ahead and slap down a drink mat here. Today we're using a frosted coupe glass. Okay, some people call it a coupe, the C-O-U-P-E, a coupe glass. Back in the 20s and 30s, this was considered a champagne saucer, but it's actually terrible for champagne because it has so much surface area on it that those bubbles escape. You know, a long, slender flute is much more well suited for sparkling wines like cavas and proseccos and champagne, because that concentration will hit your nose and you get that smell, which is part of the taste sensation. But for this one, we're going to make a pretty drink, and we're going to use a coupe glass. All right, so here's the money shot. We're going to go ahead and just pour that in. Now, people think that a Cosmopolitan is the only naturally pink drink. Well, let me introduce you to the Hawaiian Sunset. All right, now, there's a couple of different ways that we can garnish this, because presentation is also part of the cocktail experience. You know, there's the 5 senses. Some people say, well, why do we clink our glasses and say cheers or slancha or Prost in German? You know, because that's the one sense you're hearing is the one sense that typically gets left out. So that's why we do that. So just a little edutainment that goes on with that. But we still need to garnish that drink. All right, so the original recipe called for a lime twist. Now, we could just go ahead and put a lime twist on there. I would suggest you take that lime rind and kind of give that a good twist, and then give it a little wipe. That way you get a little bit of that lime oil on the rim. But today, I've taken a lime wheel and charred it. Okay, so this does 2 things. One thing, it gives it the garnish and gives it a little bit of exotic look to it. And there you have it, the Hawaiian Sunset. You know, just looking at it makes me think about those Hawaiian breezes and those swaying palm trees and the warm beaches. But you know what? This is a great drink. It's, as you can see, so easy to make. So take a look at some of our other videos, and you'll see on our channel that we have quite a variety of different cocktails. Everything from making your own moonshine apple pie, which happens to be, I think we're close to 20,000 views now at this point on that one. But also very simple ones like old fashions and pina coladas. You know, check out our other content on this channel. Now, if you find this useful, go ahead and hit that like and hit that subscribe button down there and the notify bell so when we upload new content, you're the first to know. Hey, one thing before I forget, we also publish Wiki Tiki Magazine. We have everything about the Tiki lifestyle. We have Tiki bar reviews, music reviews, Tiki history, lots of great cocktail recipes. This is the May-June issue. In our July-August issue, one of our recipes will be the Hawaiian Sunset. So get your copy today, either in print or in digital form, and the link is right down here at the bottom. We hope to see you soon. All right, let's get back to the show. Oh, one other last little detail. In the comments, if you wouldn't mind, put what city you're in. We're now in 5 countries in all 50 states, and we're collecting a map. And honestly, Bootleg Minnie's been after me to show the map on the show one of these days, and I really need to do that, and I think I'm really close. So go ahead and put where you hail from and any comments as to how this turned out for you. Well, that's it for today here at Bourbon Bill's Pirate Bar. I hope you found this edutainment-ful, and I'm going to go enjoy this with some friends, and let me know how it goes for you. And cheers.